This is a question that many movie lovers like to discuss about. Are superhero movies here to stay? I'm Edison from Watch Watchers, and I will try to give a definitive answer to you guys. So when did this superhero craze begin? If you ask me, it all started in 1989 with Tim Burton's take on the Caped Crusader known as Batman. This movie grossed over $550 million worldwide. If you compare the numbers with the adjusted numbers nowadays, it will be probably more like $1 billion. After the 80s and 90s, where Batman was the king of the silver screen, comes Joel Schumacher's take on the Batman, called Batman and Robin, which almost killed the entire genre. There are a lot of movie aficionados that say that it did kill the genre, but if you ask me, it didn't, because just a year after Batman and Robin comes probably one of the best superhero movies that we have seen till this date, called Blade. Blade has a more serious and gritty take on the superhero subgenre. And if you don't believe Blade, you can ask X-Men, which came only 3 years after Batman and Robin, which was also a much more darker take on that types of films. Spider-Man proved in 2002 that this genre is still accessible for everybody, not only male population but also the female and older population, and that big actors are still willing to play a part in those films. After the standalone period of films in the mid-2000s like the Spider-Man trilogy, Daredevil, and of course the Dark Knight trilogy, comes the period which we are in now, the cinematic universe period, where most of the characters of one specific studio live in the same universe. If you look at Disney with their Marvel studio, all the characters are living in the same universe and interact with each other. If you look at Warner Brothers with their DC universe, all the characters live in the same universe and interact with each other. Which is pretty much refreshing, but at the same time it also kills creativity, because if you look at the movies that Disney produces, if you ask me, that most of their films look alike. If you have seen one, you have seen all of them, because there are no stakes for the characters, because you know they are all going to survive, because they announced their release schedule 10 years in beforehand, so you know that Iron Man 10 is coming out in 2030, for example, so you know that Iron Man is not going to die in one of those films. That pretty much kills creativity. But films like Deadpool, which came out last year, are the types of films that are going to save this subgenre, because Deadpool took all the cliches and all the plot points that all these superhero films have, and it made fun of it. It recognized itself that it's cheesy and campy, and it had fun with it, and those types of films are going to save this subgenre. So if you ask me, are superhero movies here to stay? I would say yes, because more and more studios are investing in these types of films, and not only the comic book distributors like DC and Marvel, but also the smaller ones. So, and I think the smaller ones are going to be the more creative ones. So yes, superhero movies are a big subgenre in Hollywood right now. They bring the biggest cash for the studios, and yes, they are here to stay. So guys, if you like this video, please subscribe. If you have a comment, please comment. Do you think that superhero movies are here to stay? If you think so, comment. If you don't think so, comment why they are not here to stay. And remember, keep watching what you want to watch.